Her. Dr. Patricia Rogers is a retired Army veteran of 12 years. She spent 29 years in law enforcement, retiring in 2016 as a corrections lieutenant. She then turned from CO to CEO of Unity in Service. Her zone of genius is a visibility strategist where she takes pride in setting a platform for public speakers to speak and entrepreneurs to connect and build professional networks and increase their clientele. She is the powerhouse. She is extraordinary. And here today, she is going to share why quitting is never an option.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Nancy, for that amazing introduction. I am Dr. Patricia Rogers, visibility strategist. And the challenges that I faced in the corporate arena have positioned me as a visibility strategist. Put a one in the chat if you know about politics in the workplace. Come on. During my 29-year career in law enforcement, I received lots of accolades, but I also faced challenges that left me feeling afraid. I felt inadequate and so unappreciated. I'm going to share with you my corporate journey so that I can show you what I learned that just might assist you on your journey. After about 8 years into my career as an officer, I took the corporate exam, which was the first level of supervision. I took the test, I passed it, but when my name came up on the promotional list, I was arbitrarily passed over. But while I was studying for that exam, I learned that employees had rights. And I also learned that there were rules in place that employees must follow if they wanted to file complaints. But what I did was not one of the rules. I went before the Board of County Commissioners on national television to plead my case. I persevered through that challenge and I was promoted. 4 years later, I took the sergeant's exam, and that was the second level of supervision. How many of you know that you become a target when you stand up for your rights? Put a 2 in the chat. I took the sergeant's test and I passed it. And I came out in the top 10 percentile. But y'all know what happened, right? Again, I was arbitrarily passed over. I persevered through that challenge. And again, I was promoted. See, my goal was to retire as a corrections lieutenant. And I had one more test to take. But when it was time for me to study for that exam, it was always the fear of being passed over. But I persevered through that fear. I took the test and I came out in the top 5 percentile. Come on, give it up. But y'all know what happened, right? Again. But my question to you all today is this. Did they think that they was going to hold me down by passing me over for those promotions? For years, I supervised a system of male inmates with 200-pound biceps who pumped iron daily. I supervised a system of men and women who had severe charges such as burglary, kidnapping, child molestation, and even murder. And they thought that they was going to hold me down by passing me over for my promotions. This is what I want you all to remember. When people are trying to hold you down. And what about when you're holding yourself down? I want you to remember that with every success comes challenges and hard work. But when you face each challenge and overcome them, it's supposed to move you into a space that inspires you to achieve even more success. I retired in 2016, a corrections lieutenant. And today, the Florida retirement system pays me a 6 six-figure salary plus a 3% increase annually, ladies and gentlemen, for the rest of my life. Quitting is never, ever an option. I joined WPN in 2015, and I discovered my passion. And thus, ladies and gentlemen, the Visibility Strategist was born. And I would like to invite you to visit patriciarogers.com and pick up a copy of 10 tips to get speaking gigs. I'm Dr. Patricia Rogers, Visibility Strategist, and I am the CEO of Unity in Service, where people need people. And my information will be in the chat.
Let's hear it for Dr. Patricia Rogers. Yes, yes. Oh, you are the powerhouse, aren't you? Dr. Pat, I want to ask you a quick question, and this wasn't planned or scripted. You mentioned in there about, but what about when you're keeping yourself down? I have seen you pick yourself up no matter what's happened, in addition to everything you went through in corporate. Could you do me a favor and just drop some golden nugget? How do we move forward? How do we not, keep ourselves small?
Nancy, I'm glad you asked that question, because according to Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, I live by that. He says that your desire must be so strong. It has to be so strong that nothing will stop you from achieving your goal. And there are times that I don't feel like it. There are times I don't want to move. I don't want to do it. I don't have to do this. I'm retired. I tell myself all that. But it's something about serving people who are waiting on you to show up that drives me. And it should drive you. Because if we know that what we have to offer is going to enhance the lifestyle of other people, then that desire will never, that flame will never, ever die until God says it's over. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
That is so good. Thank you, Dr. Pat. And that's the thing. Like, you could be retired, and you've stepped into this whole realm of being a visibility strategist, so that more and more people get up just like you and share their message and contribute. And this is for all of us. We must each step up, even when we don't feel like it, because somebody needs to hear your message. Just like there's somebody, many buddies today that needed your message. I love you, Dr. Pat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Woo! Let's hear it one more time for Dr. Patricia Rogers. Woo-hoo-hoo. Show her some love. Her contact information is in the chat, as well as the link to how you can go ahead and get her 10 tips to getting more speaking gigs. So good. So